In this video, I'm going to try to build a device that's capable of producing microwaves, which is called a magnetron. A magnetron is essentially a vacuum tube, and I made multiple videos about trying to build one, and it failed every time because of some reason. But most of the time is because I have to seal in some wires into the glass, and for some reason this doesn't really work and it leaks and it's not holding vacuum. So eventually I just said, screw this, I don't want to do this anymore, so let's try it another way. Previously I made what's called a split anode magnetron. It works by having a filament, which is the cathode, surrounded by two separate electrodes, which act as the anodes. Electrons are emitted from the filament and bent into a circular orbit by a magnetic field. These circling electrons create an oscillation in the anodes, which creates the microwaves. This explanation is simplified though, because nowadays another design is used in household microwaves or radars, for example. And that is the cavity magnetron. It works very similar, but instead of plates, the anode is a solid piece of metal with cavities cut into them. It too has a central filament and two magnets are placed in line with the assembly, forcing the electrons into a circular orbit to energize the cavities. They form a circuit with a capacitance and inductance, which is called a resonance circuit, because an oscillation is created when the electric energy in the capacitor is converted into a magnetic field in the inductor, and vice versa, going back and forth. This is creating a frequency that is dependent on the value of the capacitor and the inductor. And in the cavity magnetron, these values are determined by the dimensions and size of the cavities. So, given the fact that I designed this in a CAD program, you might think I made this to output a specific frequency. But you're wrong. Finding out the frequency of this is actually pretty difficult. There are no easy formulas for this. And as far as I know, you need some expensive and complicated simulation program. So I just made these cavities as large as possible. And this should give me a relatively low frequency. Also, this part is CNC machined, and I don't have a CNC machine, so you guessed it, this video is sponsored by JLC CNC. Exactly, you can order your own magnetron parts and experience the dangers of microwave radiation on your body. These magnetron cavities need to be machined to tight tolerances, so JLC CNC is the perfect partner, offering fast, affordable and high precision custom parts for makers like myself, engineers or businesses alike. JLC CNC helps you bring your ideas to life, exactly how you designed them, no matter if you need parts for prototyping or small batch productions. JLC CNC ensures every part meets your expectations. And a delivery as fast as 3 business days makes sure that you can get your products done. Want to get a competitive price for any quantity? Click the link in the description to get $123 in coupons to start your CNC machining for just $1 at JLC CNC. Alright, let's put this thing together. I cannot wait to try it out. So this right here is the end plate, and I glued 3 wires in there with epoxy, and 2 of these wires is for filament. And 1 wire here is basically a antenna, and it's going to reach in one of the cavities. And I'm not sure if this will work well, but maybe there will be some coupling and there will be some microwave output. Let's see if this will work. And while designing this, I just planned to put a gasket in there, but I didn't think about that this will be at ground and this will be at a high voltage. And obviously a gasket is not going to be enough. So I ordered some Teflon sheet, I drilled some holes in there. I tried to make it round as well, but it's kind of hard to cut, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And this will go in between, and this will isolate these 2 parts. So yeah, after that there will be another one of these, another gasket, and another piece, metal end plate with a hole in there that goes to the vacuum system. And here's the magnetron put together. I added 2 magnets because obviously it needs a magnetic field through the cavities. This right here is the plate with the electrodes that I showed with the filament. After that the Teflon plate here, then the piece with the cavities, and then another Teflon plate, And this right here is another end piece with a piece sticking out that I can connect it to the vacuum system. For the magnetron I need two power supplies. This right here is a high voltage power supply and I have it connected to a milliamp meter, and then with a positive it goes to the anode, and then with the negative it will be connected to the filament. This will be the cathode, and then the filament will also get a low voltage connection. This is also just a small voltage converter, and this will just heat up the filament. Okay, I'm now going to switch on the vacuum system, make sure there's no leaks or anything, and then I will play around with the filament a little bit, because I have to mention I put an emission coating on there, which helps to get more electrons from this, and this needs to be activated too. So I'm going to heat up the filament a little bit, make sure that works, and then I will hook up the high voltage and then play around a little bit with that, see if I can get any emission. To measure if I get any microwaves, I don't have too many options. I actually have this microwave radiometer, and I actually had this for a very long time. I bought this when I was a teenager or something, and I was playing around with microwaves and actually running a magnetron open and lighting up a light bulb, and yeah, using the transformer to make like arcs and stuff. Absolutely dangerous, you should not do this, but whatever, I had this for a long time, so let's use this for this project. And the second option is this DVB-T stick or whatever this is called, and I can measure frequencies with this, and this goes from I think like 30 megahertz to 1.7 gigahertz. So the range is not too big, and if I'm above 2.7 gigahertz I'm not going to see anything, but maybe I'm below this and then I can see the exact frequency. Okay folks, I'm so fucked. I broke the vacuum gauge. I thought this might be a risk that when the high voltage is jumping over or something, that it might mess with the vacuum system electronics, and seems I was right. The vacuum gauge is not showing correct readings anymore, and I guess I can buy a new one now. And yeah, the magnetron isn't even working, so somehow this project always is a failure. Yep, the lamp is green, but it's currently under a little bit of vacuum, but it's showing very high vacuum. It's all the way down there. It should be like at 5 or something. So yeah, that is annoying. I don't even want to look up how much this thing cost. Alright, well, I guess this project was a failure. I didn't get any microwaves. I think the antenna just sticking in one of the cavities is not working very well, and in commercial magnetrons the antenna is actually connected to one of the cavities. And I would have changed that and tried again, but with the broken vacuum gauge it's not safe to turn on the turbomolecular pump. So I have to get this part new and get this fixed up. So for now I have to give up again and try another time. So until next time, bye.